Hey friends and neighbors, got the day off, heading over to Glendale, California, going to Forest Lawn Memorial Park. In this video, we're going to find 30s and 40s Hollywood, perhaps most you've never heard of or perhaps forgotten. It's my favorite thing to do is find those who need to be remembered. So I'll be there in about probably about 5.5 hours, depending on traffic. You'll be there in 3, 2, 1. Sometimes I get caught up in this stuff, but not today. I got out just in time. Joe Besser, the Three Stooges, is right over here. And I don't know if you can see this mausoleum right here in the corner. Larry Fine's in there, Nat King Cole, George Burns, Gracie Allen, many others. Straight ahead is Charlie Tuna. Not the kind you buy in a grocery store, but the radio announcer, the DJ. Vince Bugliosi's out here too. You may know his name from prosecuting the Charles Manson gang. Put them all in jail forever. But we're at the final resting place of Constance Purdy. She's a 1930s and 40s actress.
I ought to hide what I ought to do.
No, sir, you stay here and wait on her. You're the one she's in love with. Morning, waiter.
Morning. Oh, there you are, Mr. Edwards. You were so busy when I called you, I thought I'd better bring in this order. Let me see, I want 5 pounds of potatoes.
Oh, the potatoes is in Abner's department. 5 pounds of potatoes, Abner.
5 pounds of spuds.
And a package of macaroni.
Abner handles the macaroni, too. Package of macaroni, Abner.
Macaroni, check.
Perhaps it would be best, after all, if I just left this list with you and had you deliver it. In person, if you please.
'40s actress Susan Peters. Miss Peters was a young glamour actress that appeared in the 1942 movie The Big Shot, starring Humphrey Bogart. She has a supporting role in the movie Tish, which would lead to her earning a lucrative contract with MGM. On New Year's Day 1945, while out hunting with her husband, she was injured while retrieving a rifle she had hidden under a bush. The rifle accidentally went off, part of the bullet fragments lodged in her spine, and she was paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of her life. This led to her doing movie parts that involved characters in wheelchairs, such as the 1948 movie The Sign of the Ram. She became depressed due to a divorce and limited movie roles that in late 1952 her health began to decline and she loses the will to live. She stops eating and drinking and sadly dies on October 23rd, 1952. She was only 31 years old. Art Mix, character actor, very busy actor. He's in 223 movies from the 30s through the 40s. He primarily did Western movies as a character actor. A couple of them was a 1934 film called Mystery Mountain. Moon Over Montana, this is in 1946. His birth name is George Kesterson. He is buried under a stage name Art Mix, no relation to the popular cowboy star Tom Mix. Our next stop is Wallace Beery. He's a character actor of the 30s and 40s. He wins a 1931 Oscar in the movie The Champ. It's a good movie. It's about a broken down prize fighter that comes back and wins the championship. Got pretty lucky on this next one. I literally drove right to Felix Bernhardt. He writes Winter Wonderland. He also does some music for 1930s movies. Wrote music for Hollywood classics such as The Nitwits, a 1935 film, The Star Maker, amongst others. He was born in New York City, dies here in Los Angeles, October 20th, 1944. Good movies must have good music. Thank you, Felix. Just what I thought, coming up on the grave of Carole Landis. Got some fresh flowers. Miss Landis was known as the Sweater Girl. She appears in the 1937 film A Star is Born. In 1940, she appears in the Hal Roach produced movie 1 Million BC, where she was the female lead. Carole did USO tours. In 1942, she logged in more than 100,000 miles to visit and uplift wounded soldiers. She talked to them about their lives and their families back home. She genuinely cared, and it wasn't about Hollywood publicity. She fell into a deep depression after several failed relationships and took her own life in this Hollywood home on July 5th, 1940. Right next door, Robert Montgomery. Robert Montgomery is an established actor in his own right. He's also the father of Robert Montgomery Jr. and Elizabeth Montgomery of Bewitched fame. You guys probably remember the movie It's a Mad World. Well, here's a Chinese laundry guy, Sammy Tong. I've actually walked right past this area right here. I probably worn a path out on this sidewalk. I never looked over, but I'm glad I found him. We're at the gravesite of Joe Ewell. He's an actor from 1939 until 1950, appearing in several movies. He's also the father of Mickey Rooney.
Jigs, dear, you're sweet when you want to be. You may kiss me.
What did you say, Maggie?
I said, you may kiss me.
That's what I thought you said.
I'm waiting.
There must be some way to break this up.
Huh?
I said things are sure looking up.
Kiss me.
Maggie, do you remember our wedding day when I carried you across the threshold?
Could you see the resemblance? Okay, back up the hill. Getting my 3 miles in today. Joey Brown, a very talented athlete, actually. He was also a comedian and an actor. Joe Brown could have done just about anything he wanted really in life. And then within this area, we have Binnie Barnes. She was an actress in the 30s and 40s.
Come in.
He's still the dolphin service, madame. Something to stay your appetite.
Serve it over there. What's the meaning of this?
Pull up a chair and dive in.
I shall report you three knaves to the landlord.
Why not have a drink? Have 2 drinks. Have 3. You're paying for it.
Don't touch me or I'll scream.
She'll scream if we touch her. Is that the loudest you can scream?
Man, what a scream. That's Hollywood. A lot of times, famous graves out here will have their stage name on a gravestone, and other times they'll have their real name. So it is a bit of a challenge to do a lot of research and find out what name they're buried under. I'll look at death certificates and pictures online, whatever I can find to be helpful and easier. There's 1,109 famous graves throughout this cemetery, or memorial park, whatever you want to call it.